I'm Drew, I'm that frog guy, and today we're coming at you from the Reptile room. It's January 1st, 2019, and let's get started. So today we're going to start with Cersei here. She is in a 40-gallon tank with some plastic plants, a water dish, and some trees. Nothing too major. We're going to upgrade her eventually, but for now, she's getting big. She is a pinstripe ball python, and you can just see how big she's getting. She's one of my favorite snakes in the house. She's been off food for a couple weeks. I'm thinking she's either getting into breeding season or maybe she's just not hungry. We'll figure that out soon. We're gonna go back down to Khaleesi, who is chilling like a villain. Khaleesi is a bearded dragon. She is definitely a weird one. As you can see here, here's her 40-gallon tank, and I did do a custom background on this tank so she can climb up and get hot. She's got a night area, she's got a cave, and just gonna say hello. How you doing? She likes to come out a lot. We do have a water dish in there, even though it's not too recommended, and she is on sand, and I have no issue with that yet. She actually seems to like it, but I do have a bunch of big rocks down, so she can't like get too buried in the sand. Right, girl? We're gonna jump down to what's his name again? This is Alfredo. As you can see, he's got a nice big old poop over there I gotta clean out. And he is balled up. He is another ball python. He is actually an albino, and he's in a 20-gallon tank. Yeah, he's quite a bit smaller, even though he's older than Cersei. We'll work our way around this way. In this tank we have one of our newest additions, but she is hiding. She is a hognose snake, and yeah, you can see her little tracks through the thing, and she's got a little cave over there. You can kind of see her skin color there. So she's in there somewhere, hanging out. Maybe she'll come out later. Here we got just an empty tank, 10-gallon, maybe. We'll get some things someday in there. And we got my tadpoles moved over to here. And here we have Freddy. Now that he's in a bigger tank, you can see him. He's a 20-year-old African clawed frog. And yeah, he's my mother-in-law's frog. And he still eats out of a spoon for people. But I won't get into him too much since we have a lot of places to go around. We're going to jump over to the saltwater tank. And we got Pennywise here, who's got his lure out. As Esca and Cilia? I don't know. I can't remember names of the parts. This is a 20-gallon system with a refugium and sump. We got all sorts of different kind of corals in here. The blue light's gonna really mess it up. Let me see if I get in this. Got a big old hermit there. We moved the urchin over here, and I'll show you why. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I know you want to get out. It's fine. We'll take you out later. And then the starfish is still up in there. You can see. Hide the light so you guys can see them. Focus. There we go. Starfish. We'll jump to the middle tank since it's here. In here we have aratises. 3 of them to be precise. They are really good at hiding, and the tank's kind of dirty, but I did clean off one side where they're kind of chilling here. There's one. The other one is just slightly behind him. I could see her right there. And the third one is somewhere. Probably in this underbrush area here. But look how much of that begonia is taken over. Like, I'm really impressed on the growth of this tank. This light is pretty good. It's just a standard night crew planted fish tank light, and it's doing so well for this tank. But we'll work our way back around. Oh, just so you guys know, this is Pennywise, and he is a Teneridae maculatus, a wart-skin frogfish. You can pause the video and look at that. And this is his home. He's by himself for now. In here we got a really messed up planted tank. I got some new black mollies in here. And a male that's kind of he wants that food down there. And then the pleco had stirred up the substrates. That's why it's all kind of nasty looking. It'll clear up soon. But now let's jump over to Well, I should show you guys this first. This is my newest science project. I am breeding phytoplankton and rotifers, and I've had some brine shrimp going in there. I also have a big bucket here full of rotifers. We were gonna have clown babies, but none of those eggs were viable. We'll jump over to this tank with our two of our newest additions. I don't have names for them yet. I think my wife has a name for both of them. I think it was gonna be Jack and Sally, but I don't know if they're male or female yet, so they'll probably remain unnamed. Anemone's doing great in this. Oh yeah, I moved all the stuff from the two 10-gallon tanks into this 20-gallon tank that I just got. And there is our anemone crab next to a rock flower. The rock flower, I'm so sad the colors don't look good underneath this light, but it's growing the macro really well, so I'm going to leave it. I was going to replace it with this light here. As you can see, my new tank I'm starting down here. It's another 20-gallon, and it might be an SPS or a hard coral tank. I'm waiting to get some power heads in, and I'm probably going to get a new light for it just because this one's not going to be good enough. But for now, it looks kind of cool, but we don't need the light on to show off that tank. We'll jump around up to this tank, which needs some cleaning. As you can see, all the algae growth. Now look at that massive algae growth up there. It's so weird, type of algae. I don't think I've had that in a tank yet. I'm gonna try to maybe push it all onto the tree to make it look like the tree has branches, but we'll see. This tank is due for a rescape. Then down here we got Chromium. Hey Chrome. He doesn't like the camera. He's so pretty though. And then we got Floki right here. Always angry. Hey Flokes. And then he's in a somewhat scaped tank. It's kind of morphed a little bit. I'm waiting for the plants to grow in on the bottom. But it looks like a little ancient forest or something. I kind of like that scape. And then Floki's tank is a little less interesting. But back to the betas. They are betas. He is a plakat. What is this? Dragon scale, metallic dragon scale, and Floki was a dragon scale, but as you can see, he's definitely changed color, but he was also a half moon, but some of his tail was rotted off, so hopefully he's doing okay. I think it's fine. I might have to trim it to see if it'll grow back right, but he's had some issues since I got him, and he's lost his color, but he's still kind of bluish. The Chromium is, man, look at that. He is so vibrant. And I read that somewhere you got to keep the betas looking at each other, otherwise they'll start losing their color. So maybe he'll start coloring up again. And he definitely is angry. There's a couple other little fish in there, but if you look back at some of my other videos, you can take a look at those. We'll jump down the shrimp tank. As you can see, there's a shrimp right there. And this is my 10-gallon cherry shrimp tank, but it's growing so crazy with moss, I would call it a moss tank. But there's a bunch of cherry shrimp all over in here. They eat the algae, I feed them a little bit. Here's like a hospital tank, and down here is where Bandit's been moved to, temporarily. Waiting for a power head. He's been hiding out somewhere. But no, there he is. Hey Bandit. He is not happy with me. Very much not happy with me, and it's kind of dirty. I just did a water change, but I didn't. It's so hard to siphon when it's on the floor. But we'll get back to that eventually. Also, Noodle made it down into the refugium down there, so Noodle will. That's the name of the Nyan. What are they called? Neon Dotty back. He'll move into this tank once I get a couple more fish to offset the aggression. Down here was where we're gonna raise up the clowns babies, but nothing's happened, so I'm going to probably do a big thorough clean on it and reset it. Probably not use this light anymore since it's wasting electricity. Up here is my shrimp and snail tank because I had all those snails. Now we got a bunch of shrimp mixed with, look how big those cherry shrimps are. So this is kind of my feeding tank, is what I use for feed for the frogfish, not the snails of course. But then we got the 55-gallon hex front with the fire bellies. You can see there's some there. They're not quite getting there yet in size, but they are good eaters. There's another big one. They'll probably still double in size. There's another one. There's at least 20 or so in here, but they're so darn cute. Let's open the top. It's really growing crazy in here. As you guys can see, there's a lot more just hidden. And they really like this frog bit, which I think, looking at those bites, I have a snail or something in here that's eating them. Not too quick though. Nothing really under the water. I wish I could have a fish in there, maybe a betta someday. Something with a labyrinth lung. Then here we got little bee. Hey bee, how you doing? I added a filter to this tank, which needs to probably be cleaned since it's barely running. But it's a pretty nice little tank for her. Down below B is my new misting system reservoir and our little tiny tree frogs known as spring peepers. I don't know their scientific name off the top of my head, but there's plenty of them in here. I need to drain this tank a little bit. It's starting to get a little full, but the plants don't seem to be hating it too much. There's 2 spring peepers in here. I only usually ever see one at a time. One's a little bit darker, so I know they're and a little bigger. But they're in there. And we'll jump over to Mr. Pixie Frog here, since Mr. Gitrog, he's in a 10-gallon tank. He's getting bigger, definitely getting bigger. I've had him for a little while, but we'll jump back up to this tank. You guys can see how it's growing in. Nothing too crazy. This is where those tadpoles will end up going eventually. We have a little grow out container up there. That's also a 20-gallon high with a background. This is my other 20-gallon. And in here are some salamanders, which I just saw them yesterday, but I never can get them on camera when I want to. They're in here somewhere. This was Ziggy's old tank. If you guys don't know who Ziggy is, you can check some of my old videos. He was a Pacman Frog. He used to sit right in the middle. But I don't mind actually having the salamanders in here since it's hard to see anyways. I would love to get another Pacman Frog. I leave this on here because I really miss Ziggy. But ooh, we got Babe out. Babe the blue frog. Let's see, he is an Azurius and not an Aratus. I had to get one of each type so I would not mess up so badly all the time. And then down here we got a Intimidator named Molder. Mixed Scully and Molder together. And Scully's somewhere in there, but Molder's kind of pretty bold. You guys can see some information there. He's in a 10-gallon Exoterra. We got a 10-gallon fish tank that's been converted. And up here we have a my one I did on the build, but you can see it's really kind of nasty. In here we got some gray tree frogs, but I should probably clean the glass so you guys can see. Getting some weirdness with the focus. The Nivitica there. I got a lot of new growth on the top, but don't know what's happening with it. Was kind of discoloring, maybe getting moldy. Moving on, this is Casey's tank. He is one of these guys, East African spiny-tailed lizard, and he's hiding in here somewhere. Usually down in that hole, but he doesn't like people that much. Hey, babe. They're waiting for food, as you can see, and yeah, they're all waiting for food. Then down here we have just an empty little tank, just letting it grow in, see how it ends up looking. It's looking pretty cool. And then over here we have the toads tank. There's one over there. Kind of fat and chubby. The other one's somewhere, Littlefoot. He likes to hide there. I can see his top of his head. Maybe you guys can kind of chilling like a toad. Can't really see it too well on camera. And then in here we got Thaddeus, the climber, and Tatalina, who I'm pretty sure is actually a girl, since she's much rounder than Thaddeus ever was. Ew, he just pooped. Just pooped, Thaddeus. Look at your tank, Thaddeus. Look at all those poops. You climb too much. But yeah, she's doing great. They're just getting along like crazy, which I'm really happy about. And then I think this is the last tank. We have Tortellini. Everybody loves Tortellini, except for he doesn't love us. Isn't that right? Tortellini is a slicata, a African spur-thighed tortoise, and he's in a 40-gallon or 50-gallon tub here, which I should mention, these guys are Dendrobates tinctoris powder blues, and I think those are central toads. But yeah, Tortellini's doing good. He's definitely getting heftier, as you guys can see. He also just doesn't like being picked up. But look at those. Look at those legs on him. Look at those digging thighs. He's got a little house down here. He's doing well. He's gonna have to get in something bigger pretty soon. Ooh, she's out. And here's Medusa, our hog-nosed snake. It's gonna be feeding time, I think, today for her, so I don't really want to bug her too much. She takes it like a classy little lady. I don't think she has any special morphs, but she's darn cute. Look at that face. And that's all of our... What are you doing? I know you want out. I'll help you get out in a second. But that is our reptile room tour for the first of the year. Please then like and subscribe if you guys have any other ideas. Let me know. I'm going to probably keep doing some new stuff here and there. I could show you bugs, but you guys don't really care too much, I don't think. But yeah, like, subscribe, and if you guys have a cool idea for what can go into that tank, or maybe some ideas for coral if you're here for that, or if, yeah, maybe more frogs someday. But like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.